It's been nicknamed Woeful Wednesday in years past. There was nothing woeful about the start of the SEC tournament this year. Arkansas and Texas have officially advanced. The Hogs beating South Carolina. Texas taking down Vanderbilt. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Phillips. He's Dave Shumate, lead basketball analyst here at SEC Unfiltered. We are reacting to the first two games of the SEC tournament. We'll be doing this each and every single day for the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday sessions for the first two games. The early session will obviously do this end of night as well after the final two games conclude. And then, of course, Saturday after those two games and Sunday after the championship. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in again, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check us out via podcast where you get your podcast. You can also find us across all social media platforms as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. And as always, guys, we're powered by our friends over at FANDUEL. Visit FANDUEL.com/SECU to join today and get started with $150 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Once again, that's FANDUEL.com/SECU to get $150 in bonus bets today. Once again, the week is off and running in Nashville, Tennessee. Both Arkansas and Texas in the first two games of the SEC tournament are your winners. Hogs taking down the Gamecocks, Texas taking down the Vanderbilt Commodores. We are here reacting, breaking it all down. I am Chris Phillips. Joining me, lead basketball analyst here at SEC Unfiltered, my good friend Dave Shumate joins me once again. Dave, what's going on, man? Appreciate you taking the time and excited to break down these games with you and really kick off our SEC tournament coverage.
Yeah, you said woeful Wednesday. I'm used to hearing old sad Wednesday when it used to just be two teams in there. We'd be just getting the nightcap. Yeah, we got a full day, first 16 team SEC tournament, a lot to play for, folks. It's some good, again, overall, we had some games get a little closer towards the end. I mean, obviously Arkansas blowing that lead we'll talk about, and then Vanderbilt kind of pushing a little late in a game that Texas controlled the whole time. But Texas moves on. We get A&M Texas tomorrow A&M, I just tweeted about it, going to have a big say on if the Longhorns continue their season into the postseason or not.
Yeah, some really intriguing storylines, Dave, like we talked about in our preview, obviously, and what some of these wins mean today. Again, guys, just a quick reminder, just to give you guys an idea of what the schedule is going to look like this week. We're going to be going live twice a day, obviously today, tomorrow, and Friday, breaking down both the early session and the late session. Saturday, obviously, just two games. We'll go live after that. And a Sunday, of course, after the championship game. We'll also go live Sunday night once we get the bracket, the field of 68 officially announced, and Dave and I will react to that as well. So, again, you're going to get a lot of us over the next couple of days, and we're really excited to break it all down and talk all things SEC men's basketball tournament in Nashville. Dave, that's being said, let's go ahead and dive into it. Game number one, the Arkansas Razorbacks. You mentioned it got close late. Arkansas was up by 17 at halftime, but they went about 10 minutes without a field goal in that second half. South Carolina, give them credit, continued to fight, came back, made it really, really close at the end, had a shot or had a chance to win the game, of course. Arkansas, though, pulls it out. Final score 72-68. Gamecocks will more than likely, I did read somewhere they could actually get into the NIT if Texas makes the tournament based off some rule that I didn't know existed. But South Carolina, more than likely, their season coming to an end, 12-20, 2-16 in conference play. Of course, Arkansas, they move on, Dave, and really now are all but a lock for the NCAA tournament. Your thoughts, your takeaways from what was a Hogs win in Nashville?
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas had to have it. I think they were in the NCAA tournament going into this. I think even with a loss, they probably withstand it. Again, some people had them on the 10, 11 line. But I think they're locked. Lock it up, throw the key away. They're in the NCAA tournament. I think they probably got themselves off a Dayton seed line playing next Tuesday or Wednesday in the play-in games in Dayton. And granted, there's some teams that win in there and get hot because they get that first game jitters out. But for Arkansas, I mean, that finish to the half, very impressive if we want to talk about the positives there. I thought that was putting the nail in the coffin, or as Cal would say, to use his line. He just said, I mean, what did he say? Everybody dead and buried us, but forgot the nails. It was kind of that.
Nails in the coffin,
They forgot to put the nails in to South Carolina. And for Arkansas, it's like you said, they went about 10 minutes without scoring. Again, very thin bench, though. I mean, this was a short roster even going to the season. John Calipari only brought in 9 players. Now they've had numerous injuries. I mean, granted, I hate to say this about anyone getting injured, but I think the Boogie Flan injury was a blessing in disguise. But even Big Z looks like he dislocated one of his fingers, his shooting hand. So that'll be something going down the stretch, heading into a physical Ole Miss basketball team tomorrow. But for Arkansas, the thing that didn't make sense, and Cal came out in his press conference and said this, he told him to miss the free throw when they were up 3 because he explained it as, well, heck, by the time they get the rebound, it'll be a second, and he throws it, chances are low. He's right. 2 things can be true at once. He's right. Chances of someone making that slim. But if you make the free throw, it's a 4-point game and it's over. Why would you have instructed him to miss it? If he misses it, you're just saying don't foul, fellas. It is what it is. But I wouldn't instruct him. I remember I was watching on TV. My dad's here at our place, and he was like, "Why?" He's like, "Why would they tell him to miss that on purpose?" And it's like, yeah, the kid just must, maybe the kid just lost track of time. But then Cal in the press conference tells him he told him. And he's like, yeah, I just do things a little differently, or paraphrasing here. I'm like, it's a strange, you make the free throw. Am I crazy, Chris? You make the free throw, it's over. Why would you? I mean, he's not wrong. The chances of the guy getting the rebound and heaving it and making it are slim, but.
Yeah, I think Cal said he's got an unorthodox way of doing things, which still doesn't.
It's like he's just dying on this hill.
Yeah, it is. It is. I almost think, and I mean, listen, John Calipari has shit out more basketball than you and I will ever know, but it almost comes off as like maybe Cal forgot kind of what the situation was, and he's just trying to cover it up, sort of.
I agree.
Well, I'm actually a lot smarter than you realize. It's like
in a 2-point game, I may agree.
That's not math in there. The math's not math.
In a 2-point game, I may agree with you. Yeah, all right, you miss it. The chances of them hitting a half court, and even then, I would tell the kid to most likely make it. But like in that situation, it would make more sense than what this one was. You make it a 4-point game, it's over.
Yeah, and the kid ends up making it anyways. He tried to miss it, ends up making it. So it all worked out that way. Obviously, I believe
another close loss for Arkansas. CP, I feel like not for Arkansas, for South Carolina and Lamont Paris. They finished last. Again, this is a good basketball team. Let's don't sugarcoat it. 12-20, finished 2-16, 2-17 now in conference games. But it felt like they were a little better than what the record says, doesn't it, Chris? When you watch them, it's like, man, they were so close all year to get.
They got beat up by a historically good SEC. I like you said, Dave. The one thing I don't want to do though is this was a bad basketball team. Bad teams find ways to lose. Good teams find ways to win. It took Arkansas playing one of their worst performances of the season for the Gamecocks to beat them. Who was the other SEC win? They got Texas, right? It was Texas because that was their first one.
Why Texas is still in the bubble?
Yeah, exactly. So it was Texas and Arkansas they beat in the regular season.
They beat Clemson.
They beat Clemson, which is one of the more inexplicable results, I think, of the season. They got to go out and what they've really got to do, man, they got to invest in Lamont Paris and go get some guys. I mean, you mentioned this, Dave, and it's no shot at the kid. It's just the reality of the situation, your personnel. When Nick Pringle's getting 25 minutes, like when
he's a top 3 player on the team,
right? That's not where he's going to flourish. That's not a great sign for where you are as a basketball team. So they got to make an investment in their roster, talking to some folks, and I'm sure you see it on social media. The NIL investment they put into basketball was not where it needed to be. And I mean, Dave, this was just a bad year to not have the players because everybody's got players. Everybody has the players. It seems like more and more and more these schools are making the investment, obviously, that's necessary. I mean, look how good the league is. It's not by accident. So, I mean, look at Arkansas,
you gotta
right?
invest, what you said, CB, in your roster.
You have to. I mean,
you got to be able to go get out. I mean, they lost Michi Johnson to Ohio State, who was a key catalyst on that team last year. You're right. Like, you got to get players like, and to your point, especially now, like not just teams, universities and athletics departments have invested in college in their basketball programs in this league now. It's either kind of like, do you want to become LSU? Again, I don't think South Carolina's to that. This was a good team last year. I mean, there's proof of concept for Lamont. But, like, you're going to have to invest in it. You can't just be like, we'll make the tournament, just squeezing it out, get the most out of our talent.
Yeah, I kind of think about South Carolina basketball, maybe Oklahoma baseball. Like, your investment's going to kind of determine what you are in this league because it's very, very crowded. There's a lot of teams fighting for what feels like limited spots when it comes to the middle of the pack, certainly the upper echelon. I mean, if you're not making the investment necessary, you just don't have much of a chance. So I don't think Lamont Paris necessarily forgot how to coach basketball. He just didn't have really a full deck to work with this season. But, I will say again, we're counting up moral victories for South Carolina. You give them credit. I mean, they fought in this game. They were down big. They came back. It looked like they might steal this one late. Hogs hang on. I agree with you, Dave. I think they were in no matter what. But, you and I talked about it off the air earlier today. Even if you were for sure in, like, you didn't want the momentum of you had 2 losses to South Carolina in the last few weeks going into March Madness. Like, you want something, even if you lose tomorrow to Ole Miss, it won't be nearly as sour a taste if you'd have lost to the Gamecocks again. So I think getting your revenge, you got a little bit more positive momentum to work with. Now you go into March Madness, you're in. You're now just awaiting what seed you're going to be.
I don't think Arkansas would be too upset if they lost tomorrow. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. They would have got there.
You have time to rest.
Yeah, and again, it's already a thin roster.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, they have the Ole Miss Rebels. Is that the early game again, Dave? Are they in that noon slot? Yeah, noon Central. Okay. So
yeah, these two teams played earlier, way early in the beginning of conference play. Ole Miss got the win in Fayetteville, 73-66 on January 8th. So, yeah, the second conference game of the year. So it's been a while. They only played once this year. It's been a while since these two teams have played. So tomorrow will be interesting. I'll be interested to see Ole Miss's kind of mindset coming into this because we talked about it. The committee doesn't really change. If you're in the tournament like Ole Miss is, they're a lock in the NCAA tournament. They don't really change your seed line much. So it'll be interesting. I do like Ole Miss in this one, though. Again, fresher or more fresh, I should say, a little bit, not a little bit deeper of a bench. They have a deeper bench right now. And I don't know, Cal. And I don't know how much Cal even wants to be there. And again, it's probably in their best interest for next week to probably go get off their feet a little bit.
Well, especially after the Cal comment, we haven't really talked about it, Dave, on air after he said that, essentially came out and said, like, what does the SEC tournament really mean? Anyways, he said, one of the reasons I've had so much success is because I don't care. I don't care. The tournament that matters is the NCAA tournament. So
yeah,
maybe that continues. I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I agree with you. I would go with Ole Miss as well. And like you said, it might be a good thing for Arkansas to be able to have some time to, rest up, get well, and get ready for, as Cal said, the tournament that matters. This tournament, though, Dave, matters for the Texas Longhorns because they are still maybe even on the wrong side of the bubble, trying to fight their way back on the right side. They get a big win over the Vanderbilt Commodores. This, Dave, technically was an upset because Vandy was the Vegas favorite. Longhorns get the 79-72 win. Texas, it felt like, Dave, to me, really controlled this game throughout. They were up double digits at one point. Obviously, they were up 15 at halftime. Vanderbilt with a comeback late, kind of similar to the first game of the day, but Texas able to hold on, get that 7-point win. Trey Johnson, fantastic. Again, 19 points. I don't know if you saw this, Dave. He actually becomes the first Texas Longhorn since 06-07. Kevin Durant to score 600 or more points. Right, very good company. 600 or more points in a season. And I know, Dave, that we are all selfishly pulling for the Longhorns to make the tournament, if for no other reason than to see this kid in March Madness. We know Vandy's in, by the way, Dave. Your thoughts on this game? Texas is moving on, like you mentioned, setting up that massive showdown against Texas A&M.
Yeah, I like Texas really controlled this one at the start. And I picked Vanderbilt in our bracket, our preview that people can go back and watch.
Dave, I had Vandy on a run, so my bracket is ruined.
Yeah, you did. You had them going a lot further than I had them winning this game. But then even today, I was like, I get a feeling Texas plays pretty well today. I don't know. Again, like much more to play for, have a little fire in their belly. I mean, again, this is a Vanderbilt team. It looks exhausted to me. Like, I mean, they really do. They look tired. They look tired the past week and a half. And they're a team that I think people are going to kind of start betting against a little bit. It wouldn't shock me if they won a game or two in the NCAA tournament because they're very well coached. They're going to come into the tournament, though, 3 straight losses, OCP, to Arkansas, at Georgia, and then what just happened against Texas in Nashville. But I think talking about Texas, again, I think they came into the day on the next 4 out. So I think they were in kind of that 7-8 range of the top 8 bubble teams. This helps. I just looked it up. Let me refresh it again in case something happened. For the net ranking now for Texas, they're 42nd. For the Arkansas fans still listening, I didn't bring it up last time. They're at 39th now, but 42nd. Vanderbilt, think about this, CB. The net hasn't been great to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt 43rd behind both Arkansas and Texas in this one. I think Vanderbilt's still in. I think they're in, but Texas really was the one that needed it. I think they need it again tomorrow against A&M. It would be a phenomenal win. You go 2-1 against your big arch rival, first year in the SEC. As you remember, both teams split that series.
Should have went 3-0.
Yeah. Or you're saying if
I'm saying Texas should have gotten that win, that one that they blew.
A&M blew it.
Oh, that's right. A&M did blow it. You are right.
Yeah, they're 1-1. A&M's probably sitting there thinking they're too. And I saw when I was watching, they showed A&M's players were all there. They showed them watching, and you do like a little bit of A&M tomorrow. Less weight on their legs from not playing, and then also the revenge factor. Those dudes were sitting there probably cheering for Texas to beat Vanderbilt. So they're like, man, let's get a. I mean, granted, they lost to both those teams recently, but I think Texas is in. Oh no, sorry, they got to win tomorrow. Still some work to do. It's going to be tough tomorrow. I did think they played their best overall game defensively, though. I thought they did a really good job defensively today, especially in that first half. You knew Vanderbilt was going to make a run, but, I mean, here it is. I'm pulling up the team. I mean, they held Vanderbilt to 15% from beyond the arc. One of their better performances held them to 72 points overall, 41% from the field. Really kept a lot of their three-point shooters in check. Guys like Tyler Nickel can go off, was 1 for 7. Chris Mannion was 0 for 1. It just not a lot of production for Vanderbilt offensively. Give Rodney Terry credit. They got a big one tomorrow. They got to keep it going on. I think a loss tomorrow still keeps them out. I think it still keeps them out.
What do you say, Dave? 2 more wins?
I think if they win tomorrow, I think they're probably going to be in. That would be my guess. So I think we got a big one right after
one
lunch.
more to probably be in, 2 more to definitely be in.
For sure, because if they advance past tomorrow, they would play Tennessee. If they were to beat A&M, they would go play Tennessee on Friday in that same time slot. So, yeah, I mean, obviously you beat A&M and Tennessee, and then even Vandy. Yeah, they're in with 3 wins. I don't know. The bubble being so soft, I think tomorrow would maybe do it. And again, the committee's human. I mean, I think sometimes we forget they're human beings too. That I mean, I think there's a little bit of it if Trey Johnson kind of keeps putting on a show. And again, he's had better nights, but I mean, he still was 6 for 19 from the field, 3 of 10 for 19 points. I mean, so I think it's in people saying, hey, well, I'd like to see this guy play in the NCAA tournament. So I think if they win tomorrow, I think they're going to probably be in. I think it will be tough, though. I'd probably lean the Aggies right now because, again, that revenge factor. If A&M had just won 2 in a row against them, 2-0 this year, kind of like it. Texas's spot right there, but you would imagine Buzz Williams has his team's attention after the meltdown in Austin a couple of weeks ago.
You would think both these fan bases, too, will be highly locked into that game tomorrow, obviously. This is kind of the grudge match, if you will. This is the one that decides who gets the bragging rights on the hardwood. Splitting the first 2, 1-1. Now you got an opportunity in the SEC tournament. It's going to be fun. I mean, this is a matchup I think we were, selfishly maybe hoping we were getting just for the rivalry perspective. You mentioned, Dave, Vanderbilt. You still feel good about them, potential to make a run. I mean, heck, like you said, maybe here's the thing. You want to win in Nashville, but the pros of getting knocked out is, I mean, dude, now you've got a week or so to, like you said, get off your feet, get some rest, and get ready.
The only thing I think you could see this affecting Vanderbilt, and I don't think they would move this back. Again, it's only a few spots away. I could see us randomly getting to Selection Sunday, and I see in the playing games in Dayton and Vanderbilt in an 11 seed playing game. That would not shock me. And we're kind of like, wow, Vanderbilt was a little further back than we had. But you look at all these bracketologists, and my favorite guy, JBR, right now, he had them going into the day. He sent me a seed list as the 39th overall seed, the 10th seed, so the second to last 10 seed. So, yeah, kind of in that, again, depending how some other conferences shake up, Arkansas, Indiana, San Diego State, with Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma wins tonight. They may jump Vandy. I mean, he has them at 41. He had Oklahoma going into the day at 41 as the first 11 seed, and he has Vanderbilt as 39th. Is the second to last 10 seed. So I think if Oklahoma beat Georgia, they may move ahead to Vanderbilt for some of these bracketologists. So I think Vandy's in. I mean, you won 8 conference games. They're in. I think Mark Byington, if it not for Bruce Pearl, either him or Dennis Gates are getting SEC Coach of the Year. But it wouldn't shock me. I could see that being the SEC surprise. And again, it's for TV ratings. I think they wouldn't mind putting one of these SEC teams in on one of those first nights of the buy-in or the playing games because the league was so good this year.
So Texas moves on. Again, they will take on Texas A&M in the 2:30 Central Time slot in Nashville. The rivalry renewed once again, third time this season. We get Longhorns and Aggies on the hardwood. Again, Vanderbilt, their time in Nashville, and the tournament at least comes to an end. Obviously, they will await what seed they are, but Vandy going to be in the NCAA tournament. Hear their name called on Sunday night. So it's going to be a fun one. The SEC tournament continues tonight. We've got LSU, Mississippi State coming up in about 15 minutes or so, and then Georgia and Oklahoma, the nightcap. Going to be a lot of fun. We'll be live after those, breaking those down, reacting to them. Should be a fun night of basketball. Again, Dave, like you mentioned, some have called it woeful Wednesday or sad Wednesday. This is a lot on the line Wednesday, it feels like, for some of these teams out here. So determining seeding, you're on the bubble, trying to fight for your postseason lives. Going to be a lot of fun action the rest of the way. So, Dave, anything else? Closing thoughts? Again, Texas wins, Arkansas wins. And, again, we're off to a great start this week, man. A lot of fun basketball awaiting us.
Yeah, fired up for that Georgia-Oklahoma matchup for sure. I think Georgia kind of maybe the few teams that can move their seed line a little bit, and obviously Oklahoma fighting to get into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about it all, breaking it all down. Guys, I also want to tell you about our friends over at FanDuel, because, as always, we're brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. And, guys, this bracket season, FanDuel is letting you make the call, because right now new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. That's $200 extra bucks to bet on everything from clutch shots to last-second heartbreaks and even who's cutting down the nets. If you've been waiting to join, there's no better time. There's tourney action almost every day, and FanDuel has amazing bet types like spreads, totals, game props, and so much more. Guys, you saw our picks drop today. Again, we're giving picks each and every single day for the SEC tournament, for March Madness. We've got spreads and lines, if you will, on college baseball. Every sport you can think of. But, guys, it is March Madness season officially. We have made it. We got all these conference tournaments going on. You want to make sure you're placing your bets with our friends at FanDuel. So, again, visit FanDuel.com/SECU and get in on the college hoops action all tourney long. Must be 21 and up and present in select states, or 18 and up and present in D.C. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Guys, once again, Hogs and Longhorns advance. State and LSU, Georgia, Oklahoma tonight. We will be live immediately following that action, late night, breaking it all down, reacting to it, kicking off our coverage of the SEC tournament all week long. Guys, as always, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check us out via podcast, where you get your podcast. You can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. For lead basketball analyst at SEC Unfiltered, Dave Shumate, I'm Chris Phillips. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in, and we will catch you all later tonight.